I want to speak to people like me on these particular parameters. People like that get invited into the group. And if I want to leave and stop sharing data, I just leave the group. So it's kind of like a flipping the social network model on its head. It's starting from the individual out, and everything's consent-based from an individual point of view. So we're quite excited about this. We've just got a huge amount of work to do right now. So we'll get to this probably in Q2, Q3, Q4.
Awesome.
Okay.
Alan had a question. Alan, if you wanted to ask about connecting with different apps.
Yeah, I think I think you answered my question, but it's unclear. So I understand how this can, go into and connect to one app, let's say YouTube, and and follow what your loves are and that sort of thing. And I wonder if it can be connected to a number of apps simultaneously and build a profile about you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So there's a company called I was literally searching, trying to figure out what they're called. Anyway, what they do is you connect your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your YouTube, and what it does is it goes finds points of interest based on your likes and your shares and all this. So let's say, for example, you and me, it would say, hey, you guys have these 10 things in common. You both like soccer. You both like coding. You both like AI. Here's your 10 connections, and then it sets them up an opportunity for those two people to meet based on those 10 things, but they can't see each other's data. They just know that those 10 things they have in common. That was what we were going to use it for, as a kind of way to bridge international gaps of people that, because we're building a school. And so what I realized is the school that we have today, you have 30 people in a classroom. And the only thing they have in common, other than, being that same age, is that they live within a mile of each other. They don't share common passions. They, maybe they join the soccer team together, and we need that. We need that socialization of our, it builds character. But why not also do that around the world? So, my daughter met a lot of people on Fortnite around the world, and which they had a passion for Fortnite. But it would be great to, find other passions, bring them together like that. Is that something that this might be able to aggregate?
Yeah, I mean, a really nice example. We've got a smart city initiative in Europe, and one of the conversations we're having there is around matching residents who may have a lot of things in common but haven't ever met each other, especially because there's this kind of epidemic of loneliness, and if you can connect up citizens in the city around kind of common interests and enable communities to form. I mean, sounds really middle-aged, but I'm a member of a gardening co-op in my neighborhood. So we get together kind of a couple of times a month. And it's about that kind of community. It's not really, and then gardening is pretty crap. We're supposed to be rewilding a patch, but people are putting all kinds of like wisteria and things, and it's not rewilding. But what it is a community activity where we're bringing individuals together. And we don't really have enough opportunities for that kind of thing to happen. But if you've got citywide data and all the information about, the public bars and the gyms and everything else, and what people are interested in doing, you can start kind of creating the activities and the opportunities for people to connect. So kind of slightly different example, but I think kind of shows the match, right? So for us, we basically just want to provide the underlying infrastructure. So we work broadly across pretty much any sector. The big thing, after us spending 8 years with Citizen Me on one particular and then pivoting about 4 or 5 times, and then being approached by big companies, we've realized actually what the ecosystem needs is some underlying infrastructure that can be picked up quite easily off the shelf by everyone and then driving the outcome. So that's what we're working on, kind of building the tool sets for people to go and do that across any sector.
Excellent. Thank you.